Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. All right, guys, we're going to go over the 10 champions that I would like to see buffed in the coming year. So I'm very excited about the news we got from Kabam. As you can see, there's a smile on my face. That is a big win for the player base. No matter what anybody says or if there's still some negativity going around, huge win for the player base, huge win for MCOC. Huge win for YouTubers, gamers, everything. Everybody won all around. Now, obviously, this goes without saying, actions speak louder than words. So as long as their actions reflect what they said they were going to do, man, this is going to be a great game for a long time to come. And I'm just super excited. So, let's hop in today. We're actually going to separate. We're only going to do the 2015 champions, the top 10 2015 champions I would like to see buffed. And we are going to do two from each class base. So the reason we're doing two from each class base mainly is because we do want a good variety of classes. We don't want all one class getting stacked. Because it is very easy, if you ask my opinion, to look at the tech and go, okay, all of them need to be buffed that haven't been buffed. So we're just going to stick to two from each class. I would love to hear your opinion down in the comment section below. Once again, I am very excited, guys, for what's coming according to the announcement that we received a day ago. So starting off in the mutant class, we're already getting Magneto, right? We don't know which Magneto we're getting, so we're just going to mark both of them. I am super excited about that, to receive both Magnetos. So we're just going to go ahead and mark both of those, and the reason we are is because we don't know which one's getting the buff. The character I would like to see get a buff after Magneto. So this came down to a tough choice between Storm and Deadpool. And when Deadpool X-Force, because Deadpool X-Force is a 6-star character. That will be making a lot of my decision, as well as who is a 6-star character, who is not. So for the mutant class base, the one I chose after Magneto was Deadpool X-Force. That is who I would like to see get buffed. I have both of them as 6 stars, but, Deadpool is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel universe, whether it be cinematic, whether it be comic books, whether it be games. He's always fun, joking, playing around. And I just really would like to see him get his due credit. Definitely want to see him get buffed for sure. Moving on to the skill class, this class, in my opinion, has a lot of solid medium tier champions, except for a couple. And so that made this class actually very difficult for me to choose because I definitely want to see Punisher get buffed. I definitely want to see Hawkeye get buffed. I definitely want to see Black Panther get buffed, Winter Soldier. But I think when it comes down to who could use the buff, mainly I think I'm going to have to go with Moon Knight. Because I do like Moon Knight as a character. And I would love to see Daredevil Netflix get buffed. That way it doesn't hurt so much when you pull these champions out of there. Now I know people disagree, and trust me, that's fine. But those are the two I am going with. I feel like Black Panther has gotten a good bump because of synergies. I feel the same thing with Winter Soldier. Black Widow and Elektra. The reason I did not choose those is because they require a high SIG level. And at 6 stars, that's just going to be so hard to do. So I'm kind of choosing champions that, hopefully won't require a high signature level, and they get a good buff. All right, moving on to the science class. So as you can see, in 2015, science was the heaviest hitting class. Now, we've already actually had a buff to several of these champions in the science class. We had a buff to Spider-Gwen. We had a buff to Luke Cage, which were phenomenal buffs. And then characters that are still viable right now, at least through the uncollected progression gameplay, is Hulk. And, I actually still like Electro. There's a lot of niche fights for Electro with synergies. So we can go ahead and remove those two out of the equation. Rhino, actually, I don't think needs a buff either because he's such a difficult defender. I mean, he's not as bad as he used to be. Please don't mistake me about this. But you put Mighty Dash on with him, or you put, not Mighty Dash, you put Rage on with him or something like that, or Explosive Personality. Man, does that fight become hard. So I actually think I would prefer them not to touch Rhino. Same thing with Ant-Man. Ant-Man, when you're fighting Ant-Man in some of the Act 6 content, he is just downright brutal. Especially with Micro Reflect. So the two champions I would like to see buff would be Joe Fixit, and I would also like to see, this is a hard decision because it's kind of two choices. I think I want to see Captain America get buffed. I want to see one of the Captain Americas. We'll put 2 check marks there because I want to see a buff come to Captain America. I know that we have, Cap Infinity War, but these are just 2 champions I would like to see get a buff. Moving on to the Mystic class, this one is a little bit of a toss-up as well. So I want Doctor Strange. I'm just going to go ahead and say this one. I want Doctor Strange to go back to the way he was. I want Doctor Strange to be as good as he used to be. Also, there was a close tie between 2 of these champions. And that's Iron Fist OG and Thor Jane Foster. And I'm sorry you can hear my puppies fighting in the background just so everyone can see what they're hearing. They're tussling. So, but Jane Foster, that one I've always wanted. Now, granted, I have both of these as 6 stars as well. So this was a hard decision. I don't want Juggernaut buffed. Juggernaut still causes problems on defense for a lot of people, especially newer players. And I'm trying to stay away from buffing defensive players because we don't want that to become harder. So Magic is wonderful. Scarlet Witch, I'm super stoked for a 5-star Scarlet Witch. Guillotine with her Morningstar synergy, and I think there's another synergy in there. She does beast mode. So pretty much you're looking at, an Unstoppable Colossus is a rare character, and then Iron Fist, Golden Fist as we'll call him. He's a rare character. So out of the 2, I am actually going to have to go with Iron Fist on this, just because he's been a meme champion for so long. And I feel like a lot of people have him as a 6-star. I believe that's what a lot of people get as their first meme tier 6-star. And I would love to see Iron Fist OG get a work. Moving on to Cosmic. Cosmic, once again, struggles from the same thing Skill does, where there's a lot of decent champions and a few bad champions, right? So you look down the deal, Black Bolt is still good. I don't care what anybody says, especially with the new synergy. Drax, good mid-tier champion. Gamora has got her buff. Ronan is useful in his circumstances, like against the Act 6.3.6 boss. OG Thor still hits hard. Captain Marvel, mid-tier champ. I remember back when people used to consider Drax and Captain Marvel a viable Labyrinth of Legends option. Then you go down to Miss Marvel, same thing. So the Venom's amazing. And then, Symbiote Spider-Man. We have so many good Spider-Mans in the game right now. We do. We have so many good, and once again, he's a decent defensive player, especially if you can get a power start one on AW defense or something like that, and he automatically throws a special one, and it's unblockable, and he gets his spider sense charges. He's really kind of a good defensive player if you don't have Venom or a True Strike champion. So the two I'm going to go with in the Cosmic class are Superior Iron Man, and you got it, Groot. Groot is probably, besides Hulkbuster, which Hulkbuster is now getting a buff, Groot is probably the one who needed it the most, in my opinion, out of all the 2015 champs, because they took care of Pillowfist, they took care of Colossus. Groot, man, Groot needs a buff bad. So moving on to the tech class. And once again, you go through Star-Lord, still very good for Labyrinth of Legends, still a champion I would 565 if he was someone I got at the very beginning. OG Vision, hard to get character. Kang, hard to get character. Becoming less and less hard to get Kang, actually, I would say. So that leaves us Iron Man, Rocket Raccoon, OG Vision, Cinematic Vision, not OG Vision, Cinematic Vision, Ultron, Iron Patriot, and War Machine. So this one should have you should be able to choose more than two in this one because it's so bad. It's so bad. But a character I have always enjoyed, loved. This kind of goes along with the Deadpool. I would like to see Rocket Raccoon get a buff. I just would. That's a personal preference. So now it comes down really to Iron Man, Ultron, Iron Patriot, and War Machine. Sorry, that took me a minute to get all their names out. I apologize for that. So when we think about the meme tier champs, we actually think about Iron Patriot, probably more than anybody. There is some argument to be said that Ultron is a decent defensive player and that War Machine is a decent defensive player with the right nodes, essentially having, unblockable special one and empty the clip at the start of the fight. So there is something to be said there for those two. So if you're going to choose between Iron Man and Iron Patriot, I think I'm going to have to go with the meme tier champ, Iron Patriot. And the reason I have to go with him is because, man, he just needs some love, right? He just needs some love. He's a villain character, Norman Osborn. And he just needs some love. And since we chose Superior Iron Man in the Cosmic, I would like to see... I actually think Superior Iron Man's cooler looking than the regular Iron Man, so I would like to see Iron Patriot get a buff. But we are going to do two honorable mentions. And these two honorable mentions, we're doing these mainly because there's going to be 12, champions buffed within the next 6 months. So kind of would like to round that out to an even number, even though 10's an even number too. Don't tell anybody that. But so my first honorable mention is going to be Cyclops. And Cyclops has been in bad need of a buff for quite some time. He's just a champion that's been in need of a buff, for quite some time. And then the second champion I would like to see get a buff would be OG Iron Man, just because I'm a fan of the classics. There's an argument to be made for Jane Foster. There's an argument to be made for OG Spider-Man. There's plenty of arguments you can have. This is simply my pick. So I am super stoked about this. I am super happy with Kabam. Actions will speak louder than words. We will find out whether they mean what they said, because we're only used to getting a buff champion like every 6 to 8 months. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. All positive things coming this way. We will be back to doing more YouTube stuff. This is just, I just kind of got tired of the game and had to back off for a minute. And now that we've seen something from Kabam, I am definitely excited to get back more into YouTube with MCOC. So thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. Please, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and comment anything you want. Smiley face, doesn't matter. It helps out the channel. Hit the like button. Hitting the like buttons on the comments helps the channel. It gets me out there more. And just thank you guys so much for everything you do for this channel. I truly, truly appreciate it. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a blessed day. And peace.